Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Dear Study Online, Education with Fun. So today we are going to learn about a poem, The Heart of the Tree, written by Henry Cuyler Bunner, an American novelist, journalist and a poet, and you can see his portrait given in the slide. Now this poem is included in the ICSE syllabus and it is an important poem both from the perspective of syllabus and also keeping in mind the present scenario. It is a fine piece of poetry with a simple theme and a simpler structure. The poem stresses upon the importance of planting trees and their usefulness to all life on earth. Now, it is also relevant to our present time because we, the humans, have become so relentless in the pursuit of urbanization that we have totally disconnected ourselves from Mother Nature. Thus, this poem tells us that if we want to flourish, we need to stay in harmony with Mother Nature, and the best way to do this is by planting trees. So, throughout the poem, the poet gives emphasis on the importance of planting trees, and he explains that planting a tree is a great work for the mankind. You see, I have also chalked out 2 points that it tells about the benefits of planting trees, and it is especially relevant in today's time when mankind in its rapid strides towards progress is irreparably damaging the environment, where humankind is overexploiting the environment. As a result, there is a wide gap between humans and the mother nature, which can be flourished by planting trees. So that is the main thing which the poet has discussed in the poem. So let's get to the poem and let's understand each and everything given line by line. Now the poem consists of 3 stanzas. I have given the poem, that is the stanzas, here, and all the meanings, required meanings, in the green box beside. We will go line by line and we'll understand all the concepts. So let's start. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants a friend of sun and sky. He plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high. He plants a home to heaven and I, for song and mother croon of bird, in hushed and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony. These things he plants who plants a tree. So you see, in the very beginning of the poem, the poet poses a question to the readers asking why we plant trees. And then you see, he goes on to answer his own question. Now, in the very first instance, the question asked by the poet might seem very simple and casual. But in fact, it is not so casual as it seems. The poet in fact tells us that we should not take the act of planting trees lightly at all. It is a big task and we should take it seriously and in a serious manner. And in the next part, after posing the question, he goes on to answer his own question. What he says? He says that when we plant a tree, we plant a friend of the sun and sky. You see, it is given in this line, he plants a friend of sun and sky. Now, how we plant a friend to the sun and the sky? You see, trees provide a cool breeze and absorb the sun's heat. We all know that. Trees grow tall to reach out to the sky. This is also known by us. Now, with the help of sunlight, trees carry out the process of photosynthesis and maintain balance in the ecosystem. Which is very much known to us. They share a special bond. It purifies the atmosphere by taking in carbon dioxide and by releasing oxygen. So all these things are done by tree. As a result, the tree becomes a friend to the sun and sky. Did you understand why the poet has mentioned that a man who plants trees, he is actually planting a friend to the sun and sky? I have already explained the reasons for which the tree becomes the friend of sun and sky. Next he tells, he plants the flag of breezes free, the shaft of beauty towering high. The poet compares the tree to a flag that flutters in the breeze and compares the stem to a pole that stands tall and firm. Now, a tree looks like this. I know I am not good at drawing, but I guess you understand what I am trying to say. So, a tree looks something like this. Now, the poet has compared the tree to a flag that flutters in the breeze. When the breeze blows, the leaves of the trees starts dancing and swaying, and the pleasure we get by seeing a flag is also compared to the pleasure we get when the leaves of the trees dances or sways in the breeze. So it gives us equal, or we must say double the joy we get while seeing a flag. And what he says, he compares the stem of the tree to a pole that stands tall and firm. A tree standing straight not only pleases our eyes but also reassures us that it has its nurturing abilities. So, the poet tells us that a tree standing tall reassures everyone of its nurturing abilities and gives us immense joy and pleasure. In the next line, the poet says, he plants a home to heaven and I. You can see the meaning of an I is given here, near or close to. The poet says that by planting a tree, a person creates a home near heaven. That is, he brings heaven closer to us by planting trees. Now the question might come, how does he do so? You see here, the poet answers the question in the next part, in the next three lines. What he says? He says, for song and mother croon of bird in hushed and happy twilight heard, the treble of heaven's harmony. Now mother croon means the lullaby of a mother, that is the lori sung by mother to her babies. Hushed means quiet and happy, you already know, and twilight is the evening time when the sun has set and the atmosphere is yet to get dark. That time is known as twilight. So you see, trees are the home to a number of birds. Trees provide birds a spot to sit and sing their melodious song. It seems like the trees have made a home for the birds that are closer to heaven. In a way, during the evening time, all birds return back and settle in for the night. It is quiet and calm time because the day's activities are over, and it is happy because the entire bird family is together, wrapped in the coziness of love, belonging and safety. Thus, a heavenly atmosphere is created, and the atmosphere which gets created around the tree seems like a heavenly atmosphere, as if the atmosphere has become harmonious and heavenly. Thus, the poet says that the man who plants a tree creates a heaven and I, a heaven closer to us. And the sound of the birds and their canopy or their lullaby seems to us like the treble of heaven's harmony, like the sound of heaven, or the heavenly harmonious atmosphere is created by the sounds of the birds and the silence or happiness which gets created in and around the tree. In the last line, the poet says, these things he plants who plants a tree. Thus, in the last line, the poet himself answers the question to the first line which he has told, that all these things are done by a man who actually plants a tree. So that's all for the first stanza. I have wrapped up or I have given an explanation of whatever is explained in the first stanza in this slide. I have already explained everything, so you can just pause the video and take a screenshot. It would be a great help to you, and you can also prepare your notes by giving these lines. So definitely pause the video and take a screenshot. Now let's go to the second stanza. You see, the second stanza also begins with the same question. What does he plant who plants a tree? He plants cool shade and tender rain, and seed and bud of days to be, and years that fade and flush again. He plants the glory of the plain, he plants the forest's heritage, the harvest of a coming year, the joy that unborn eyes shall see. These things he plants who plants a tree. So in the first and the last line of the stanzas are same. And again the poet asks everyone a question, that what are the things a man does by planting a tree, and he himself gives the answer. The poet repeats the same question and suggests more reason to plant trees. What are the reasons? He adds that trees provide cool shade and gentle rain. We all know that by planting trees we get shade, and trees call rain, or trees attract rain. So trees definitely provide us shade and also gentle rain. Next, what does the poet says? A tree will produce seed and buds for the future generation. We know that the fruits or flowers which we get from the trees provide us with seeds and buds, which if we again sow them, or if we immerse them in the soil, they will again nurture another tree. So a tree produces seed and buds for the future generation. Years will pass by, you see the next line, and years that fade and flush again. By this line the poet means that years will pass by and the old trees will wither away, but the seeds of today will produce new trees in the future. So the tree which is planted today will give seeds and buds, which will again provide trees in the future time. So generation after generation, the legacy of trees will continue, and thus by planting one tree we are reassuring our future. So that is the thing which is mentioned and explained in this part. Next, what does he tells? He tells that he plants the glory of the plain. The poet calls the tree the glory of the plain, as they make the land look green and beautiful. You see, a plain is like a ground around us, and what is the glory of the plain? What is the glory of a ground? It's grasses and its trees which are born on it. The more the trees and the grasses, the more beautiful a plain will become. Thus trees become the glory of plain, and it make the land look green and beautiful. Again he says he plants the forest's heritage. Now one who plants a tree conserves the heritage of forests, because we know that a tree produces further seeds and buds, which again give birth to new plants, and thus by planting one tree many trees are reassured, or we must say many trees are already been sowed by planting a single tree, which will form the heritage of forests. Next, what does the poet says? The harvest of a coming age, the joy that unborn eye shall see. The poet suggests that we plant trees not only for ourselves but also for the future generations to come. Our future generations would be able to reap the benefits of planting trees. The trees which we plant today will definitely give result and will definitely be beneficial to the future generations, and the future generations will also get benefited by the trees which we plant today. Thus planting trees become an immense important job which we have to do, and thus the poet puts emphasis by giving us all the reasons for which we should plant a tree. And thus in the last line he again tells and repeats the same sentence, that these things he plants who plants a tree, which means a man who is planting a tree is not only just planting a tree, he is planting a institution for future generations to get benefited by it. So that's the explanation of this stanza. Again, I have given the explanation of this stanza in this slide. You can go through it. Just pause the video and take a screenshot. It will again benefit you to write your answers. Let's go to the final and the last stanza. See, the poet again starts with the same question. What does he plant who plant a tree? He plants in sap and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty, and forecast thought of civic good, his blessings on the neighborhood, who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of our land. A nation's growth from sea to sea steers in his heart who plants a tree. Now you see the final stanza, the same question is repeated. The poet again puts forward the same question. According to the poet, a man who plants trees or a man who plants a tree does so because of his loyalty towards his neighborhood, his family and the society. Now when a man is planting a tree, he is definitely loyal to his country, he is definitely loyal to his neighborhood, his family and the society, because by planting tree he not only benefits himself but also the whole society, because a plant not only help or not only is useful to a single person but to all life on earth. Thus he who plants a tree is definitely loyal towards his neighborhood, his family and the society. By planting a tree, he expresses his concern for the future of the planet. You see, and forecast thought of civic good, that is, what is a civic good? A man who is responsible to his society is obviously visionary. Forecast means he is obviously visionary, that he wants to do good for the society, and thus he is planting a tree. And you see in the first line that he plants in sap and leaf and wood. These are the parts of the tree. We all know what is sap. Sap is the fluid which flows within the tree, and sap, leaf, wood, all these parts of a tree help to produce food. We all know that by the process of photosynthesis, trees provide food, and food is the basis of life. And trees, which are known as autotrophs, they are the basis of life on this earth. Thus by planting trees, he expresses his concern for the future of the planet. That is, he is installing something, or he is planting a tree, and by his work he is ensuring a definite and safe future for his planet. Did you get that? What is the meaning of this line? That forecast thought of society, civic good, that is his responsibility and his vision to do good for his society. His blessings on the neighborhood, which I have already discussed, that whenever he plants a tree, he is loyal towards his neighborhood, family and society, and in all he is doing good to the planet. The trees that he plants give food, wood and sap to all human beings, which is already mentioned. The trees which the man is planting gives us what? Food, wood and also sap. Now the three things, that is food, wood and sap, everything is important to human beings. The man who plant trees is like godlike. Why he is godlike? You see, in these lines, his and his, the H is capitalized. The capitalization of H in the last stanza portrays that the man who plants trees is a divine light, as he contributes to making the world a better place for himself and for others. Now, the man who is planting tree, he is obviously becoming greater than all the others in the society. He is taking an upper hand because he is visionary and he is loyal to make this planet a better place, not only for himself but for everyone. Thus he is in a way treated as godlike, or he is treated to be the god himself, who for the betterment of this planet is planting a tree which will not only benefit the present generation but also the future generations to come. By planting tree, he initiates a step in the path of the progress of the nation. Thus, by planting a tree, he is actually doing what? He is actually making our future better and our planet a better place to live on. Now you see the last line. The last line is very important as it talks about the man's heart, his feelings, dreams and wishes behind planting the tree. Now the man who is planting the tree, he is definite to have feelings, dreams and wishes behind his work. This also leads to the poem's title, that is The Heart of the Tree. Thus, the poet ends up composing an uncommon piece of poetry out of a common topic, that is the usefulness of planting a tree. Hence, the last line also plays an important role in the poem, because with the last line we get the title of the poem, and it tells that a man who is planting a tree is definitely a visionary man who is having feelings, dreams and wishes to make this planet a better place to live on, and the damages done by this present generation should not make the future generations to suffer, and hence he has taken the initiative to plant a tree, and thus the title of the poem becomes The Heart of the Tree. I guess you have understood the poem. I have tried to make you understand in simplest form so that you get to interact with me. If you have any doubt, you can definitely comment in the comment section. I have already given the meanings, and you see the explanation of the third stanza is also given here. You can definitely pause the video and take a screenshot, and again it will help you to answer the questions better. So this is the first part where I have dealt with the summary and the analysis of different lines. In the next part of this video, I will discuss some more parts like literary device, the significance of the title and the theme, central idea. And with the second part, you all will get a clear idea how to write questions in your exam. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching this. Those who are new to the channel, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get further updates. Thanks for watching Dear Study Online. This is Bijit signing off. See you in the next. Thank you.